Hello traders and Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewison here, coming to you from the digital studios of Market Club. We're going to start off with Apple because today is the big day, the big way you can go in and actually see a watch and perhaps order it if you want to. But this is the first product that Apple has come out with in 5 years. So it's a pretty important event for them. If you remember, we were looking at the pullback from the highs. We did a special report on this, and if you look at the pullback, we're talking about the highs right here to where we are right now, and that's approximately 33 days. It's very similar to the period here, 33 days, 34 days. So we're looking for a situation where either the market's going to turn up Monday or Tuesday, or a possible low day on the 34th day, which is Monday. So that'll be Monday. But my best guess is that the market's beginning to turn around. We're going to have another push up to maybe the 150, 155 level, and that's going to be all she writes. We're back on the support line at 50 on the RSI, or the indicator we talk about all the time. Very important indicator. Once you go over the 50 line, you can see right here, scope that up, you can see the trend goes up, 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 up. And then once you go below the 50 line, which is right here, it starts to go down or sideways. So again, once below the 50 line, this acts as a sort of a resistance area. You can see it there. And then eventually once it goes through, then you have a upward trend. So again, the 50 line is very important in the RSI, and we're right now at that 50 line at support. So let's see how that plays out next week, and we'll get some reports, I guess, from people who have looked at the watch and how many orders Apple has actually received. Would not be surprised to see them sell 1 million watches. Anything less than 1 million will be disappointing to the market. One last thing with Apple, if the market moves over 128.12, then you want to be long this market. It's going to start to move up, I think, to the levels we talked about before. That's the signal. 128.12 is the signal. 128.12. So watch that next week. Moving on to the Dow. The Dow is currently in a trading range. You can see our weekly trade triangles are down. We're over the 50 line, which is a good sign. If we see the Dow move over 18,205, it'll turn the weekly green, and you want to be long this. There'll be a strong indication that equities are moving higher. For whatever reasons, we don't know. It's not important, but the important thing is you go with the trend. That's the key to successful trading. On the NASDAQ, pretty much the same thing there. Still a mixed picture, but it's beginning to turn up. You can see we're putting in a good performance. We're higher for the week. In the NASDAQ, if it trades over 5,032, it turns the weekly green, and it'll be a strong indication that the trend is once again up. We're over the 50 line in the RSI, a good indication that the trend is actually starting to move in a positive manner. On the S&P 500, you can see that we have a good, strong week underway, and if the S&P 500 trades over 2,114.86, then it turns the weekly green, and you want to be long. But you can see we're over the 50 line. Good sign, and I think we're on our way to potentially test these highs again and perhaps go higher. Now here's a stock that we like, Under Armour. We've been long this stock from 60 when our monthly kicked in, and we're currently trading at 83. Last signal was 69, so you can see that was just around. Well, I'll just put that in for you. So click here once on the weekly trade triangle. You see it right here, and we got this nice move up. Again, the trade triangles get you in and get you out at the right time. So there's the signal to get out, and you got back in here. So it's about a scratch trade, but you didn't have to sit through this agony of watching the market go down, and that's the important thing. If we see this market close at or close to its highs, the high today was 84.49. I would say any close over 84 would be a very positive situation in this stock and a good candidate for a weekend trade. On gold, gold is putting in actually a really good performance for the week. You can see it came right back down to the RSI, the 50 line, and that's where it found support. That's why this RSI line is really important. You can see it found support here and found support again here. So if we see this market's actually higher for the week, this will be the highest close in gold in 6 weeks, and the daily will turn positive, which is the one we want to turn positive right here. That'll turn positive at 1,214.85. So we're a ways about $5 away from that level. I'm not sure we'll see it today, but if we do, then you want to be long again for the weekend. So let's see how that plays out. But generally speaking, it looks like this market's trying and wanting to go higher as people are getting concerned about the actual value of paper money like the euro, and are moving into the traditional value, gold. And it's been out of favor for a long time. It may be coming back into favor and beginning to glitter again in investors' eyes. So watch that very carefully. The euro is red, 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 down, down, down. You can see we just made new lows here. Actually, this will be the lowest, second lowest close we've seen in the euro on a weekly basis. It is not quite oversold yet, but it's getting close to that. But again, very strong resistance around the 110 level. It really would have to go over there for us to begin to get any kind of positive feeling for this market. Crude oil is continuing to sort of flatten out. It's a third week in a row we've seen the market close higher on a Friday, which is a good sign. We're over the 50 line. It looks as though it's beginning to build a fairly substantial base. You can see with all, just right here, you see this sort of it's building this base, and it is finding resistance right around here, the 55 level. It really needs to go and move over that level and close over there convincingly, maybe a 56 print. And that would, I think, push this market up and improve from where we are right now. But generally speaking, we have a trading range. We need to get the daily up again. It's not, but we have the weekly up, which is a good sign, but we need to get the daily up, and that would go up if we were to see this market go over about the 55 area. So let's see how that plays out next week. Last market we're going to be looking at is Alibaba. We talked about this market before, but it's beginning to look like it's putting in a base. You can see we had a weekly trade triangle yesterday at 87.04, currently trading at 84.38, but it looks to me as though it's trying to put in a base. It's not there yet, but a couple of things to look at is, one, this is a nice base building effort here. We're over the 50 line right here. You can see that here, and we're back to support. I would think that we'll find support and we'll just chug along a little bit longer. Then I think eventually we'll see this market recover, particularly if we can do one thing, and this is what I want to share with you. One of the key levels I want to see is breaking this long-term trend line. We can see this is back in November when it first debuted with its IPO, moved dramatically higher. Everybody thought Alibaba, China, huge markets. Well, it proved not to be the case. Very similar to Google when it first opened years ago. And we want to see it move over this line, over the negative force line, this long-term trend line, which has been in place since November. So it's been in place for several months. It may continue to go sideways, and eventually once it breaks through, you want to be long this market. Hey, I'm Adam Hewison. We covered a lot of markets. Next week should be very exciting. We'll see if we're right on the Apple call and see if we get a weekly trade triangle in there. Once again, Apple, 128.12. If it goes over that level, the weekly kicks in. Positive for the week. And again, let's watch the gold. I think there's a lot going on in the marketplace. So have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you on Monday. Ask about any market and get an answer. Only for members and only from marketclub.com.